Hi, second time lucky. Well, everything's going well today. It's windy and it's a little bit overcast, so the Wi-Fi and the internet is a bit shocking. And then, as I mentioned in the first one, I've got builders out front. I'm at home today. I've got builders out front. I've got builders next door, so there's just all this noise. Let's see how I do. Um, let's see how this goes. If it's not working, then I'll just reschedule and let's see how it goes. So today I'm going to talk to you about low libido, low sexual desire, and what it means for you in terms of your hormonal health. I also want to do, I wasn't going to do a full Q&A for this, I'll see, but you know what these lives are like, and particularly sometimes you may have seen before, you get people on asking questions that maybe don't really need to be on the Facebook page. What's the name for them? I can't remember. So we'll see how it goes, but I will do a separate Q&A, live Q&A on this topic, and I might actually make the live Q&A private. So I might make it actually a webinar and do it so it's not, if you want to ask some questions that are a little bit more personal, you can kind of do it in a safe space. So I'll just see what the feedback is, see how it goes. But if you do have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments. I'll either answer them today or I'll answer them on the live Q&A. Anything you want to share or anything you want to ask, really love to hear it, because this is a topic that affects so many women. I get asked this topic all the time. Hey, Kelly. Whenever I have clients, all of my clients, they come to me with issues and they come to me with their health issues. It might be weight, it might be energy, it might be fertility. And it's always the topic as they're kind of going out of the office or just closing the door, or I'm just saying, is there anything else that today that you wanted to talk about? And I have a low libido, and it's quite a few women. I mean, quite a few people in general, but definitely quite a few women. It seems to be an issue. And so I'm going to talk about today about what I know, what I see, and what I see can help. And obviously there are so many issues when it comes to low libido. We've got hormones, we've got stress, we've got past trauma, we've got past sexual abuse, we've got maybe your relationship with your partner. So there are so many things all encompassing this. I'm going to stick within my realm of expertise, which is the hormones, which is the stress, which is nutrients, looking at all of that. Anything kind of outside of that, if it is to do with some kind of mental and emotional issue that's happened in the past, seeing a psychologist, seeing a therapist will definitely help. And then also, if you think it's your relationship, and I will give you a couple of tips that I know have worked in the past for clients, and I've also adopted them as well. If you really think it's a relationship issue, there are a few things you can do, but also there are wonderful sex therapists that help with that kind of relationship, because we are also caught up. We're also caught up in this kind of like daily rat race, this daily stress, and then we wonder why our sexual desire might not be there, and we might blame our relationship, we might blame the other person, we might blame the situation, but really it is just our body saying, I'm too tired, I'm too stressed out, there's too many things going on, that we don't really need this function. And also there's a few little tips and tricks. So I'm going to talk about this today. It might be a little bit long because it's kind of a huge subject. And like I said, more than welcome to, hi Cheryl, more than welcome to pop your questions below. But I think I might make the Q&A private. I might do a more intimate Q&A that's private, actually a webinar style, just so if you do have any specific questions that are a little bit more personal, it's a safe space to actually discuss them. So I'll just see how it goes today. And then, like I said, we'll do a separate Q&A because everyone's all a little bit different. When I was researching, so I've got all my notes here because I've got so much that I want to get through. I feel like it's going to be a 2-hour class. Okay, so when I was researching this, I was looking through all the research papers and I just was having a look. And I was looking at an American report that said when women go to their gynecologist, it says about 67% of women report a problem with low sexual desire. This is 67%. I mean, this is a huge number, a really huge number. And then also another study said, a community study said that between 33 and 39% of women have self-diagnosed low sexual desire. So I want to talk about that for a moment. What is low libido? What does it actually mean? Because there's a few different types of, there's a few different things going on. you've got the lack of desire. So the lack of desire is driven by, you get up in the morning, do breakfast, take the kids to school or go to work, do your chores or working all day, have your lunch, come home from work, and it's known that women's cortisol elevates more than men's when you get home from work. So women tend to have more pressure on them, or they put more pressure on themselves. So let's, one or the other. When you get home from work, it's either I need to clean the house, I need to prepare the dinner, I need to have a shower, or I need to do this for tomorrow. So it's kind of more stress, and so cortisol goes up for women, particularly at the end of the day after work, more so than men. And this is also an issue. So you get home, and so you're going through this dun, 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 dun. So that's that lack of sexual desire. Then some women suffer from what's lack of sensation. So it's, the sensation or dryness. So it's more of a physical issue, and that can happen, post-menopausal. So the sensation goes, the blood flow might go down a bit as you age. And also dryness. So that can be just an aging issue, and that's a physical issue, and that can be, helped with, using coconut oil, using ginkgo tea, using things like arginine amino acid, just to get the blood flowing, and then of course doing things like yoga and meditation. Then we've got an issue with some women actually unable to orgasm, unable to reach climax. And that can be a physical issue, and it can actually also be some other things that are going on. Maybe it's low oxytocin, maybe it's previous trauma or previous history of abuse or something else going on there. So there's that as well. And then there's a lot of relationships today where there's that non-sexual relationship, and it's really a relationship which is a bonding relationship with your partner, maybe your parents, or you've been together for a long time, and it just and that kind of that sexual relationship changes into just a closeness. There's still that love there, but it's more of a habitual relationship. So there's that love there, but you want to find that desire, and that's where you want to look at your stress and you want to look at your habits. So we're going to touch on a few things today to go through that, and just to help you through that. So first of all, I'm looking at my notes so I don't forget anything. First of all, I just wanted to talk to you about the benefits. So the benefits of regular sexual contact, having regular sex, having regular orgasms. We've of course got exercise. We've got exercise and weight loss. We've got the fact that it raises your oxytocin, and oxytocin is a wonderful hormone. Oxytocin makes you feel close to the world, close to the universe, close to each other. Oxytocin makes you like people. It makes you like being around people. It makes you like interacting. It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel loved and very connected. So, having regular sex, having orgasm, reaching climax will actually help raise that hormone and make you feel good. So it will increase your connection with the universe. It also increases your immune system, so it helps with your immune cells, so it helps you fight off bugs, common colds, flus, that kind of thing, and it also protects your system from viral invaders, and it also protects your DNA turnover. So if your DNA is cell turnover, it just prevents the cells turning over into non-friendly cells. So it's good for that aspect of it. It's also good for hi Angie, thanks so much for joining. It's also good for balancing your hormones. So it's good for balancing your estrogen. It's good for reducing your cortisol levels. So if you're very, very stressed, it helps to reduce your cortisol levels. It helps to balance your testosterone levels, and it helps to balance your neurotransmitters. So really, it's all good. It's all good. But the issue is, and the biggest issue I find, and this is what my clients say, and this is what people say, I just don't feel like it. I'd rather be doing the washing, or I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about what I need to do. I'm thinking about tomorrow, or, I'd rather just eat chocolate. So first of all, find out what's going on for you. Find out, what is the issue? Like, what is the true issue? Really think about it. Take away any blame, take away any issues, take away any thoughts of the other person, and just figure out what is it for you. Is it that you're just too busy, you're too stressed, and you've gone into this kind of co-partner relationship, and you're just each going about your daily business? You'll know, because when you go, say on holiday, or when you're relaxed, you'll find then that desire might start to come back. And it's a desire that you want. As soon as you start getting that desire back, that's when the libido starts to kick in. There's actually a really good website called the 5 Love Languages. It's www.5lovelanguages.com. and it actually tells you, you fill out a questionnaire and it helps you with your love language. So it will tell you what your love language is. So for instance, your love language might be look, Erin, you've hit the nail on the head. I mean, we've got testosterone levels, definitely. When a man's testosterone levels is nice and optimal, it's actually a really good sign. I mean, it's a really good sign when a man is quite virile. It's a good sign for his health. It means his testosterone is good. It means his DHEA is good, and his hormones are really beautifully balanced. If a man loses his libido, maybe his testosterone's going down. So it's actually a good sign. So you need to go with that. I'm going to be talking about something in a minute you might be interested in. But the 5 languages, it gives you an indication of what your love language is. So studies show that women need to be courted. Courted through the day. It's not about wham bam thank you ma'am for women. It's more about what happens through the day. So figure out what your love language is. Go and fill out the questionnaire. What is your love language? Is it gifts? Is it physical attention? Is it someone doing something for you? What is it you like your partner? What is it makes you think, oh, that's so nice that he did that, or it's so nice she did that? Is it cleaning for you? Is it cooking you dinner? Is it taking you out to a spanking beautiful restaurant? Is it giving you money? Is it buying you a gift? Is it doing something nice or giving you a massage? What is it that really resonates with you? Because that's going to give you an indication of what's going to make you feel nice through the day. And if your partner knows that, if your partner knows what to do to actually give you that nice oxytocin kick through the day and make you feel good, that is going to help with your libido. So it's about that kind of like that through the day, them doing those things. So, and if it's them doing something like cleaning, if them cleaning the bathroom really does it for you, you need to kind of let them know as well, because let them know what it is that makes you feel that warm and fuzziness inside, because it's that warm and fuzzy feeling that will help to raise your libido and it will help to raise your sexual desire. And so figure out what that is. It might be something more sexual, or it might be a simple act of them doing something nice for you, like making you dinner. So figure out what your love language is. You can get them to do it as well. So that's at www.5lovelanguages.com. It's great. It gives you a real indication of, how to be in this relationship and still keep that spark and keep that love going. So let's talk about a couple of things. So as I mentioned, you first need to identify, what's going on for you. You could have estrogen issues, you could have low testosterone, progesterone could be out of balance, cortisol or oxytocin. Also, people with pyroles and MTHFR have issues with libido. Now, MTHFR specifically because of neurotransmitters, and pyroles because of low zinc. If you've got low nutrients like vitamin D, oh, thanks so much, Jessica. It's wonderful, isn't it? I'm still trying to get mine to do it. I'm still trying to get my hubby to do that, but I did mine, and it's really interesting because it makes you once you do it, you realise what makes you happy and how you can actually communicate, interact, and what the other person needs. Because we so assume that what we like, the other person likes, and vice versa. And so once you figure that out, you're absolutely right, Jessica. It does amazing things for relationships. So wonderful. Thanks for sharing that with us. Thank you. MTHFR, pyroles with low zinc or low B vitamins, low vitamin D, low magnesium, all of these will just make you not feel like it. And that's that lack of sexual desire. So there are lots of things that have a role. So as I mentioned also, if you feel like it is a relationship issue, there are lots of people you can go and see. There are sex therapists. I love a local lady in Sydney, Jacqueline Hellier. She's a sex therapist, and she actually runs courses for men and women, and then some courses for women. She runs retreats up the coast. She runs retreats to Bali, and she does a bit of tantric. And it's just a way for you to reconnect with your partner if that's something that you feel like you need to do. So her name is Jacqueline Hellier. Absolutely love her. I've interviewed her for the Breakthrough program, and she's just got some wonderful advice, and she's been doing this for a long time. So if you feel like also it's a relationship issue and you just want to reconnect with your partner and you need some help doing that, then Jacqueline Hellier is your girl. Neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters also, as well as hormones, are something that can cause issues. If you've got MTHFR as well, you're likely to have neurotransmitters that are a little bit out of balance. So if you're low in serotonin or low in dopamine, excuse me, if you're low in serotonin or low in dopamine, you're also likely to have low libido. So low serotonin, you'll have lots of cravings, you might have lots of sugar, lots of carbohydrate cravings, binge eating with serotonin. This is why that second part of your cycle after you ovulate, before your next period, if you're a binge eater and you need to eat a lot of food, sugars and carbohydrates, that's a sign of low serotonin, and that is coupled with low progesterone. But so low serotonin, definitely. And with low serotonin, you feel a bit sad, you might feel negative, you might feel anxious, and low self-esteem as well. And this is where the low self-esteem might come in as well, particularly in the bedroom, particularly having body images, having low self-esteem about your body, how you look, your performance, that kind of thing. And those emotions will also negatively impact on your sexual desire. So that's low serotonin. Then we've got low dopamine, and that also can coexist with MTHFR. It can be at the same time as low dopamine, but not always. It can go on its own. Low dopamine, it's, it can cause addictive, you need to do things that are addictive, drink alcohol or take drugs, also sex sometimes, but you'll have very low energy, and with low dopamine, you'll have very, very low motivation. Hence that I don't feel like it, I can't be bothered. And you'll also have that with other things. So exercising, going out for dinner even, things like that, or going out with friends, that's that low dopamine, really just not feeling like it. And a telltale sign of low dopamine, I've experienced this before, and I think it might be a common symptom when people really feel like there's no hope. It's that finding it difficult to, being pessimistic towards things and finding it difficult to find enjoyment in things. So, finding enjoyment in the simple things and feeling a little bit pessimistic, that can be that low dopamine. So just watch out for those two neurotransmitters. I am going to do a little bit more work on... thanks so much for asking, Angie. In terms of serotonin, in terms of dopamine, one of the best things for dopamine is actually increasing GABA, and that's theanine. So theanine is found in green tea. Some people are naturally low in dopamine, and so these people will find when they give up caffeine, they get very bad, very fatigued, very depressed, just not sure, like a bus hit you. Those are those people that give up caffeine and feel awful. Those people need to have a little bit of caffeine because they're low in dopamine in their brain, and caffeine helps to stimulate, but also the theanine in the green tea helps to boost your dopamine. So you can take L-theanine, it's an amino acid, you can take it separately, or you can have it in tea, maybe like a cup to a couple of cups of green tea a day. Serotonin. Serotonin can be raised using things like SAMe, which is like a sulfur-based supplement. Anything sulfur-based can help with serotonin. So SAMe is very, very good. One of the best ways to do it... Yes. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Look, I drink coffee. And I drink green tea, and it works for me. So it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone. Some people get anxious on it. Some people's cortisol is too high. They can't tolerate it. But I need to have it, and it keeps me happy. So serotonin, the best thing I've found for serotonin is St. John's wort. St. John's wort, and actually I was told yesterday you couldn't get St. John's wort in some countries, so I think in Ireland you can't get it. St. John's wort works like an SSRI, a natural and herbal supplement that actually helps with serotonin in the body, stops the uptake, so you actually have more of it circulating and actually connect, going onto your receptors. So that plus I've forgotten the word. Not theanine. Tryptophan. So tryptophan, that you could take a supplement, or tryptophan's in chicken. It's in nuts and seeds and legumes, turkey meat. That's where you find tryptophan, or you can supplement, and then theanine is in green tea, or you can supplement. So that will help with those two neurotransmitters, definitely. So stress is one of the biggest causes of why we don't feel like it, why we've got low sexual desire. If we're stressed out, our limbic system goes into crazy disarray. And this is why you might experience symptoms like forgetfulness, clumsiness, unable to make a decision. You know, when you're just so frantic and you've got this simple decision of what am I going to cook tonight, or what am I going to wear tomorrow, or someone says, you know, what shall I get so and so for a birthday? And your limbic system manages your breathing, you know, your autonomic nervous system, what's going on in your body, you know, keeping you alive, your sleep, your wake, all of that kind of thing. So if you're stressed, your limbic system goes wah, 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 danger, danger, danger. And you're not going to feel like it. Your desire is going to be gone. I'm interested to listen to your message, Erin. I'm actually interested to see how you've gone. I'm looking forward to talking to you later. Limbic system. You'll know if it's your limbic system because when you do yoga or when you relax or when you go on holiday, your sexual desire will come back. You'll get it coming back then, you know? So whenever you find time to relax and whenever you find time to chill out, that's when you'll find it. Now, once your limbic system goes, you're then more prone to not being able to cope with situations. So say for instance you're doing something and you're thinking about something and someone says something or someone asks you to do something or something goes wrong, you actually can't cope, and so you either end up in tears or you end up getting agitated and getting angry. That's when your limbic system is just in disarray. It can't focus in because it feels like there's danger. It feels like there's too much going on. This is caused by stress. This is caused by the daily stress we go through, that we put ourselves through, putting ourselves under pressure, time pressures, having chores that we say we put on ourselves to do. Then we've got work pressure. So we've got pressure from family, we've got pressure from work, society, and then we've ultimately got the pressure that we put on ourselves, which probably we don't need to do. So those all things, they cause the stress. They raise the cortisol, raise the adrenaline, and that's ultimately what leads your limbic system to go out. So it kind of shuts off that sexual desire, you know, shuts that off. So you might find in hot weather or when you're snuggled up or after yoga or something like that, you actually might feel, oh, there's something happening, like I can feel something coming back. So in terms of your hormones, let's talk about your hormones a little bit more. Testosterone is one of the ones that if it's low, too low, and it is low for a lot of women, not all women, but there are some with it low, some with it high. When it's low, you will lack that sexual desire. So, you know, raising your testosterone and balancing it out is a really good place to start. You know, things like maca powder. The issue being that if you take maca powder and you've got high testosterone, it can cause acne, and it can cause like hair growth to sprout up. So if you have anything like polycystic ovarian syndrome, acne, greasy skin, like extra hair on your face, that kind of thing, then I wouldn't take maca powder and I wouldn't try and raise your testosterone. I'd more likely get tested. But low testosterone can definitely cause that low libido, low sexual desire, even a low sensation. So just watch out for that. Then we've got that balance between estrogen and progesterone. So if that balance is out, also your sexual desire won't be there. And, you know, I talk about this a lot, but progesterone is your beautiful warming hormone. It makes you feel so good. If your progesterone is low, you'll feel anxious, you'll feel wired, you'll feel impatient. Impatient's a big one, actually. And you really won't feel connected to your partner, which means you won't really have that sexual desire. So that connection goes. You might feel irritated with them. They might annoy you. Also, you might find through your cycle there's a change in your sexual desire. So I know for me, mid-cycle, when I ovulate, I notice a definite change for the better, for a positive. That's when I'm ovulating. So that's when my hormones are kind of doing their thing. The estrogen perks up and the progesterone is there. So, you know, that's when I'm feeling better. Look at Angie. It doesn't, so that it depends what contraceptive pill you're on, but I know from personal experience, I've been on a couple of contraception pills in my teens and early 20s, and I was also on the Implamon, which was progesterone only. It's synthetic. I wouldn't advise it for this, and I would say that it's more likely going to damage your libido. Being on the pill normally causes a low libido. If you've got super, super low progesterone, you know, you want to look at something like Vitex, Chase Tree to bring it up, because that works at the pituitary, and definitely working on your stress levels, vitamin C, B6, they all help. At a push, if things can't get up and if things can't be produced, you could try bioidentical hormones. You could try that. Definitely don't try anything like the plant progesterone cream. Do more stuff that stimulates the progesterone at the pituitary rather than the cream. But I'm not the synthetics, the pill. They're not the best way to do it, because they can just clog up the liver a little bit more and cause gallbladder issues. So it really depends how low it is and what's causing it to be low, Angie. Okay, so estrogen and progesterone. Definitely getting that balance will help with your libido. So getting that balance up is going to help. Just making sure you can get progesterone up and making sure estrogen balances out. You know, if you have estrogen problems, high estrogen that's causing problems, because you might have heavy painful periods, you might have endometriosis, you may have anxiety, insomnia. Those are the kind of things you expect. Gallbladder disease, uterine fibroids, uterine cancer, breast cancer, that kind of thing. So that's that kind of estrogen dominant picture. So you'll know if you're estrogen dominant, and then with low progesterone, you get the water retention, the bloating, sometimes depression, low thyroid, that kind of thing. Yeah, Kelly, are you enjoying taking the Chase Tree? Do you notice? I know that when I take it every so often, I feel good. I only take it for a month every couple of years, just I kind of feel like it. And then, or if I go through a stressful time and I've been using more progesterone being funneled into my cortisol, I might take something just to help with my progesterone production. And it really does work. It makes a difference. It calms me down, levels me out nice. It makes me feel happy. Yeah, the progesterone. Metabolism. If your metabolic hormones are out, if your active T3, if your thyroid hormones are out, you may lose sensation down there. So that's a sign of lost sensation as well as dryness, but definitely the low thyroid. And you'll feel more sluggish. You just won't feel like it. Might be more difficult to reach orgasm. Especially with low thyroid, because you're cold. You've got a low basal metabolic rate, your mitochondria aren't firing as well as they could be. So working on your thyroid and working on your metabolism. I've got that 10-day Master Your Metabolism challenge, and really that's taking you through things to help your metabolism, like the type of exercise, hot and cold therapy, iodine, selenium, zinc, all these things to do to just bolster your metabolism, because once you've got your metabolism working, that's ultimately going to help everything else, and that's going to help your sexual desire and your libido. Yeah, Chase Tree, Cheryl, I would go with, Premula from Flordis, that's a good brand, or P-Lift by Metagenics, that's a nice brand, or doing Drop Dose from MediHerb. So those are the three that I would go with. I wouldn't go with any of the regular brands in the pharmacy, just because they might not be standardized. We don't know what the dose is. So, but those ones I mentioned, the Premier I love, and also the P-Lift I really love. And I get different results. Some people not everyone suits one. Some people take the P-Lift and they just find, no, it causes negative reactions. They take the Premula and they love it. Same thing, same herb, just some slightly different things in there, and sort of like different modes of action. So balancing your hormones, maca powder, and that I say this all the time, but this is a huge thing for balancing the hormones. 3 regular meals a day, 3 balanced meals a day, no snacking in between, no problem, no snacking in between, and just making sure that your blood sugar is staying nice and level, making sure that your insulin's not peaking, or your blood sugars, your glucose is going up and down. That's causing inflammation, and that alone, you know, that insulin going up can stop that sexual desire. So just making sure you're keeping your blood sugar steady, and that will also give you that energy towards the end of the day, particularly if it's the end of the day when you see your partner. If you're too tired, you're not going to feel like it. That sexual desire won't be there. So definitely keeping your blood sugar constant, making sure that you're not going really hungry at 6 o'clock. So a lot of people might have breakfast, or they might skip lunch or have a light lunch, and then by 6 o'clock blood sugar's dropped. People are absolutely starving. You're not going to feel like it. So just making sure you keep your blood sugar steady is one. Making sure, you know, you're having your fiber, you're having your 6 to 8 cups of vegetables a day, 40 grams of fiber a day, and then making sure you're getting some good bacteria, you know, some probiotics, some sauerkraut, some kefir, those kind of things to help balance out your hormones, you know, work on your gut, working on your estrogen and progesterone levels. Boosting your metabolism, you know, so doing selenium and zinc, you know, Brazil nuts, oysters, or supplementing, then maybe a little bit of iodine. And then I love the hot and cold therapy, you know, cold showers, that kind of thing. And then managing stress. Managing stress is a big one. That's a huge one. So the best way, you find your way to manage stress, and you have to learn this, and you have to practice. Every day you have to practice. So whether it's 10 minutes of meditation, whether it's a couple of games of Candy Crush or something like that, whether it's a massage, whether it's going for yoga, just figure out, or journaling, you need to find that quiet time, and you really need to allow your body to go into a space where it feels safe. If you're not coming down from stress, and if you're not feeling safe, then it's only going to potentiate that, and you're not going to feel that desire, because your body's going to think that it's in danger. Your body's going to think there's a stressor going on. So just learning how to bring your body down, and I promise that's practice, but once you get there, you will get there. And you've just got to try different things every day. You know, learning how to go from a stressful task, relax, to another stressful task is a big deal. And understanding the first signs of when you're feeling stressed out and when you're feeling anxious. And one of the biggest signs of, you know, elevated cortisol and that kind of like adrenaline cortisol is that you really feel like there's no time. There's no time, there's no time, there's no time. You're late for everything. You're late to pick up the kids. You're late for this. There's no time, there's no time. But if you take a step back and say, and understand that there is enough time, then that will give you space in the day. And that, when you find the space, that's when your body will be able to come down and your nervous system will be able to rest. So figure out what it is for you. For me, it's finding space between activities. So I've taught myself, and this has taken a long time. I've been able to teach myself to turn my mind off, in terms of, you know, if I have clients, I will be thinking about the clients, and I'll have a space to research, and I'll have space to think about them. But then I can turn myself off, and particularly at night time, I'm not overthinking and I'm not running things around in my head. I'm just learning to find space, and finding that space is where things will start, magic will happen. So those are the three main areas for your hormones, you know, balancing out your sex hormones, managing your metabolic hormones, and then really nourishing your body when it comes to stress. And of course, like I said, this is a huge topic, and there's so many other things going on. So I think start slowly and start simply. So I thought, well, what if you tried something and just see how you go over the next 10 days? You know, just to see how this goes. And I've talked about this before, but just to see if something simple will help. Because once you start getting this desire back, it's really going to help with your hormones, and it helps with your relationship. It helps with your relationship with others. So one is eye contact. So eye contact is so very, very important, and we don't do eye contact enough. So I put it to you for the next 10 days. To get eye contact with your partner. To get eye contact with your partner, or the person that you're, if you want to increase your sexual desire and you've got a partner, you know, or if you haven't got a partner but you still want to increase your sexual desire, then you may have to increase eye contact with strangers, or if you're going on a blind date or whatever. So if you're dating, whatever it is, increase your eye contact, you know, really hold that eye gaze. Look into that person and connect with this person on a different level other than this physical. Really connect. you'll find that this will help. This will really help. You know, when your partner comes home from work or you come home from work, do get that eye contact. Let that be the first thing you say, the first thing you do. And I put it to you to do this for the next 10 days, you know, the next 10 days, every day, and really see how you go, see where this gets you. Next thing is television is a libido desire killer. We think it helps us relax, but it actually doesn't help us relax. It causes the opposite. It just makes us sleepy. It's not a nervous system relaxer. So if you can find something else to do with your partner at night, like a massage, reading a book together, or even just chatting, I would do that. If you're a dinner and TV watcher, try and have dinner at the dining room table so you can chat and catch up. Those little intimate occasions is going to help with your overall sexual desire. So I definitely put that to you to try experimenting with that over the next 10 days. And then just start doing a little bit of meditation. So whether it's 3 minutes to 10 minutes every day, just try and find that space wherever it is, just to help your nervous system, just to come down from the stress. And then change the inner dialogue. Think about, what have you been saying to yourself? How have you been... What is your perception of this no sexual desire? Do you blame yourself? Do you blame your relationship? Do you blame your partner? Does the fact that they do things that irritate you, you know, change your perception of the situation? So try and change your inner dialogue to a one of love and a one of joy and a one of, you know, wanting to connect with them. So just try these little things over the next 10 days. And I would be really interested to see how you go, particularly with the eye contact, 'cause I personally think it makes a huge difference. So I hope this was useful for you. So I will be doing a Q&A so we can dive a little bit deeper and just seeing if I missed anything, because I did have a lot of notes and a lot of things I wanted to cover. But if I have missed anything, then we'll just cover it again. That's fine. But if you've got any questions, please pop them below. And I hope you find that helpful. So over the next 10 days, eye contact, you know, having dinner together or doing some nice things. And maybe go and fill out the 5 love languages, 5lovelanguages.com.au. Go and fill that out and figure out what your love language is, so you know what needs to happen through the day to actually give you that lift to help you. And then also a little bit of meditation, and then I would switch the telly off. Just have a little bit of a break from the telly. I think that's a good thing for all of us. So have a wonderful day, guys. And if you've got any questions, pop them below. I hope you enjoyed that, and it was so lovely. Thanks so much. Thanks Kelly. Thanks Cheryl. Thanks Angie. Thanks everybody for your questions. Really appreciate you being here and joining in. So I do thank you, and thanks Erin. I'll talk to you later. Bye.